Hello everyone and welcome to the highlight video for the Montreal Expos 7th game of the season, where we were taking on the San Diego Padres in a game that marked both the halfway point of the season as well as a big matchup in terms of potential National League playoff seeding. As we jump into the highlights, we go to the bottom of the first where we have one on with Mikey Thomas up to bat, and it looks like he gets a hold of this, hitting a nice grounder to center field, but a great play by the center fielder results in a double play. So the Padres came out with very strong defense, and then in the top of the second, they threaten with a crazy bunt from Ashley Weber that goes out into right field. Vladimir Guerrero plays it pretty well, giving the Padres first and third with one out, and the next batter, Artie Pimpleton, he is also going to drop down a crazy bunt, but this was a fabulous team defensive effort here by the Expos, the ball being snagged by Mikey Thomas after it was contained by the rest of the infield. Luan is able to get a strikeout, and then with two outs and the bases loaded, force the ground out to the pitcher, and we get out of that jam. We jump to the top of the fourth because the early innings did not have a lot going on. This time, Annie Frazier backing up her middle infield partner Pablo Sanchez and forcing a double play of our own. In the bottom of the fourth, Pablo says thank you very much to his teammate by dropping down a crazy bunt of his own. This one goes all the way to the left field trees, and Pablo, with his speed, a very underrated part of his game, I must say, is able to turn it into an inside the park home run and get us on the board. Two batters later, Keisha Phillips is also going to drop down a crazy bunt with Mikey Thomas on first. This time it goes to right field, and Mikey Thomas, even though he doesn't run that well, is able to easily get to third base, and we have second and third with nobody out for Vladimir Guerrero, trying to get going this season, and he does with a fantastic line drive to center field, just barely hits the top of the fence, keeping it to a single instead of a home run, but it does score Mikey Thomas, and then Vladimir considers going to second, but wisely stays at first, and it allows us to set up a classic first and third steal play. Vladimir Guerrero goes, the Padres take the bait, and Keisha Phillips is able to score easily from third base. 3-0 now for Ernie Steele, and he, with two strikes, hits a very nice line drive to right field, and in a bizarre play here, the ball hits Tony Gwynn right in the head, and the center fielder gets stuck trying to go around the shed. I know it looks like Tony Gwynn is just standing there, but he was clearly out of it. This ball was hit very hard off the bat, and Tony just needed a little bit of time to recover there. It does, however, allow us to get 2 runs on the inside the park homer. So it's 5-0 after 4, and in the top of the 5th, Padres try to threaten again, but we get a couple nice plays from Dante Robinson behind the plate, including this one on Adam Van Doren to finish off the inning. In the bottom of the 5th, it's Keisha Phillips with first and third and one out, and she is going to hit a nice fly ball to left field. Good defense here, makes the catch, but it is plenty deep enough for Pablo Sanchez to score on the sacrifice fly, giving us a 6-0 lead as we go to the bottom of the 6th. 2 outs, 2 on. Annie Frazier hits a little dribbler. Jocinda Smith deciding to stay, thinking about trying to score, but eventually going back to third base. That distraction allowing Annie Frazier to get to first. And that brings up Pablo Sanchez, who has a fantastic at-bat and unloads on a 3-2 slow ball to hit a grand slam, splashing it directly into the pool. This was one of those swings where everyone knew it was gone as soon as it left the bat. Just a fabulous piece of hitting, and this just blew the game completely open. Any resistance the Padres may have had was gone after this, as it pumps the lead up to 10-0, and then Mikey Thomas, he is also going to unload the very next batter, hitting it right over the garbage truck, putting us up 11-0. And you could just see the wind come out of the Padres' sails after this, because they had nearly contained the threat on the Annie Frazier ground ball, were unable to get an out, and then Pablo just put the game away. Keisha Phillips kept the 2-out momentum going by hitting one to left field. Tony Gwynn, having mostly recovered from the knock on the head, tries to play this one off the wall, falls over, but gets a good relay. However, Keisha Phillips, with her speed, still able to get the triple. And then Vladimir Guerrero comes up next, still having a decent day, and he is going to nearly hit this one out to left, but it is going to catch the top of the trees. His second almost home run of the game. This time he gets the double, and we take a 12-0 lead. And that was pretty much the work that we put in for this game. Top of the ninth, Jordan Thorner, who had a really good hitting game, nearly legs out an infield single, but a nice recovery from Pablo there. And then Ernie Steele finishes it off with a crazy ball to Artie Pimpleton, and we end up with the 12-0 victory over the Padres. This was a big one for us. It leaves us at 5 wins and 2 defeats after half the regular season. So plenty of momentum with the 5-game win streak, and looking forward to the second half.